Hello and welcome to this informational workshop. During this workshop, I will be talking about different agencies, their resources, and how you can access them, including my own business. I will also be sharing how these organizations are funded. Some of these organizations you've heard about, and some you have not, how to access them, and if they would benefit you or your family. So we will take a deeper look into what's available within the community, what will fit your family's needs, and what kind of fundings are available. I started my own business to be able to provide a necessary bridge to the gaps that are lacking for parents trying to access help for their children. I saw a fundamental issue with finding avenues to help my children along the way. So after many years of research, countless struggles to find helpful resources, PASS was created to bridge those gaps that parents struggle with. Through the programming offered through PASS, the hope is to empower parents to have a voice, to effectively advocate for their children and stand up for their rights as well as the rights of their children. Helping to bridge the gap for children falling through the cracks of society and parents who are having issues navigating the institutions that are supposed to help them. There is a fundamental gap when children start school. Even if they've been supported from birth to 5, the supports often stop, and this is where children fall through the cracks, and there is very little support available to them. Navigating the school systems, doctor's offices, pediatricians, MCFD, and CYMH are services parents may have to access to help their children. Knowing how to advocate and building a team to make your child successful in life can be hard on your own. PASS is here to help. Programming available through PASS are a variety of support groups on relevant topics, a general parent support group for every and any parent, a bullying support group for parents who have had children that have been bullied, an inclusive education support group for parents who have children who have been denied inclusion within the schools, such as field trips, classroom activities, IEP accommodations, and more. Sensory processing support group for parents who have children that struggle with sensory issues. Children with disabilities support group for parents who have children in general with any disability to help build a community, support, and network. And children with ADHD support group for parents who have children with ADHD. One-time needs assessment can be optional, but it focuses on the needs of the family. Consulting and advocacy as needed would be where we would sit down and we would discuss what you're looking for, and we would help I would help navigate you through whatever issue is going on. Conflict resolution. If you have a conflict with an agency and you just don't feel like you're going to get a conclusion of that, I would help with a resolution for that conflict. Workshops. These can be put on by myself or an organization can hire me. There's a variety of funding available to use for these services for those who qualify, such as autism support, Métis funding, Jordan's Principle, and other funding available can be explored. Now looking at the Child Development Center. This organization offers wonderful programs for children from pregnancy to to 5 years old. The Child Development Center can play a significant role in early intervention. They offer a variety of services designated to answer questions families might have about pregnancy, child development, and about providing enriching learning opportunities for babies and young children and youth with extra needs. The Child Development Center hosts an array of groups and programs. The Pregnancy Outreach Drop-In, Parent and Child Mother Goose, Parent Connections, Infant Massage, the Breastfeeding Cafe, Circle of Security, Motor Group, Language and Literacy, Youth in Action, and Parent Autism Support Group. Looking at the other services that the CDC provides are Pregnancy Outreach for Expectant Mothers, offers some one-on-one support with one of the lovely outreach workers that help promote early access to prenatal care, nutritional health, counseling, and education about pregnancy, infant development program for infants who have been identified at risk of developmental delays, show signs of one or more developmental delays, or who have been diagnosed with a disability. Supported Child Development Program provides children and youth with special needs the opportunity to attend and be included in community-based childcare programs. Therapy programs such as occupational therapy, physiotherapy, speech and language therapies are also offered. Now, new programming that through the CDC includes a family navigator program designed to assist and support families who are clients of at this Child Development Center to access other local, regional, or provincial services, resources, and benefits for themselves and their children or youth. Early Years and Inclusion program that will provide culturally safe, family-centered services in partnership with parents and caregivers. Indigenous-supported Child Development Center program that provides extra support for children and caregivers in a childcare setting. Also, Indigenous Infant Development Program designed to help families one-on-one with their child's development. To access these programs, it is as simple as a referral. This referral can be a self-referral, in person or on the website, or community referral from the doctor, teacher, social worker, etc. The Child Development Center is a not-for-profit organization, so there is no cost to parents. Some of their program is funded through whatever special needs funding is available to cover the cost of the programming. All the information provided can be found on their website. The next agency we're going to look at is Access Family Services, a little bit of a hidden resource that is hard to access. With limited services, Access offers services through referral of ministry children and families mostly. But they also only cater to a very select clientele. They offer services over northern and interior BC, and programs and services vary to each community. In Quesnel, the services offered through Access are specialized family services. Services range from family to caregiver support, initiative family interventions, supervised visitation, and parent education. Most services need referrals for MCF. However, parenting courses can be self-referred. FASD Key Worker Services offers support services for families with children that have been diagnosed with FASD, fetal alcohol syndrome, or other complex development behavioral disorders, or maybe undergoing assessment and potential diagnosis of these conditions. Families are referred to these services. It will be supported by key workers on navigating the assessment process, as well as understanding and implementing assessment recommendations. Key workers support families to link them to other community resources that build capacities to support children and youth with FASD or other CDBCs. Life skills for children and youth with special needs. Youth care worker works with children and families with special needs to expand their social and life skills. Child and youth mental health. Support children and youth with mental health issues. Phase 2 for youth. Supporting youth who have been in the foster care system to prepare for adulthood. Youth referred to the program are supported in developing life skills, securing accommodations, and dealing with different kinds of crises that emerge in preparation for independence with limited family support. Sexual abuse intervention program, community-based counseling program for children and youth who have been sexually abused or exploited, and children under 12 years old because of sexual behavior problems believed to be in relation to sexual abuse or exploitation. Workers, supplies, assessment, treatment, and support services. And finally, the Foster Parent Support and Training Program, providing support and education to MCFD foster parents. The Foster Parent Support and Training Facilitators provide ongoing and crisis support to foster families, as well as mandatory and other training for foster parents while they are providing care for children and youth. Training and support offered by this program assist foster parents to provide the best care possible for children and youth in care. And their services are covered through Ministry of Children and Families because it's a referral, and their parenting courses are free of charge. The Quesnel Telecom Society Native Friendship Center has been a great resource over the many years. They've offered a lot of great resources throughout the year. The Friendship Center offers family support services through a family support worker who works as a liaison with First Nation communities and the Ministry of Children and Family, as well as youth support, employment counseling, and a needle exchange program. They have a recovery program for mothers in recovery, fetal alcohol and drug FX worker, and alcohol employment counseling, offering youth outreach and urban student support, and harm reduction needle exchange program, legal law advocate, family law advocate, and family finder, Kith and Kin cultural program, and a mental health clinician. They also have an early years program that is offers drop-in Monday mornings at the Telecom Center beside the Friendship Center, and in the summertime they did water park Wednesdays offered from parents with children from birth to 6. I don't know what they have in the winter though, but I'm sure they have something fun going on. The Quesnel Telecom Society Friendship Center works as a nonprofit organization and offers services free of cost. Now, I know that they're going through some changes and they're adding some programs. So feel free to stop by and ask them about that, or keep a check on their Facebook every once in a while to see what they have that's new. Okay, moving on to the Women's Resource Center. This is a nonprofit organization that has offered many beneficial programs over the many years it has been in operation, from opening a daycare and school to provide teen mothers with the opportunity to finish school, to having a nurse practitioner to help with the needs of women in the community. But sadly, with changes in funding, the services that the Women's Center offers are subject to change. At this current time, they offer a variety of counseling services, drop-in and outreach services for women in the community. Etchen Healing Society is a not-for-profit organization that works to promote the advancement and well-being of children and families in the North Cariboo Aboriginal communities, advocating for and providing programs, services, and resources. Programs that are currently offered are Parent Circle, giving parents an opportunity to connect with other parents within the community, finding supports and increasing their own parenting skills in an informal discussion, family support services to provide support and advocacy for families, also collaborative family planning to gather family and community members together to develop safety for children and youth. Along with these services, they also have an Aboriginal supported child development and childcare at the Little Chiefs Daycare Center, along with after-school childcare services. Most of these resources are not for cost. However, the childcare services are at cost. And I know that these guys do offer other things that are not child related. So it's worth to see if you can find out information. This was all the information that I could find out, but it doesn't mean that the information doesn't exist. It's just that this is what I was able to find. And another thing worth mentioning about Etchen Healing Society is that everybody's welcome. So you're not limited to Aboriginal or Métis. If their services is something that you could benefit from, they are very welcoming and very community oriented. The final agency we will look at is the Child Care Resource and Referral. They make it easy for parents to find affordable and quality childcare, licensed and unlicensed, within the community. They also offer family supports in helping connect family with the early years and childcare services, access to quality resources, and offers use of a lending library, workshops, drop-in programs, and provides consultation, support, and parenting information. Please feel free to check in with the childcare resource and referrals to find out more about what they have to offer. The Minister of Education and Childcare provides funding for CCRs, which work in partnership with the government to improve the accessibility, affordability, and quality of childcare in all BC communities. Now, again, this is another one. Feel free to go in and see what they have going on. I know that they were working on getting some new things going as well. So it's always beneficial to have a look at these organizations and see what they have to offer all on your own. Moving on, there are a few online resources, and the first one on my list is Family Support Institute of BC, FSI. This is a provincial not-for-profit society committed to supporting families who have a family member with disabilities, diagnosed or not. They collaborate with broad volunteer base, and their services are offered for free. FSI has trained volunteers throughout the province, referred to as resource parents or peers, creating network supports and connecting families by sharing experiences, expertise, and guidance. Offering family support to anyone, any age, with any disability, connecting families, encouragement and guidance, networking, information sharing, referrals, workshops, and training. Now, I've taken a bunch of their workshops, and it's fantastic. They're so informative. Next on the resource is, or next online resource is Inclusion BC. They are a provincial non-profit federation. Inclusion BC provides advocacy, education, and support where and when it is needed, breaking down barriers and building communities that include people with all abilities. Staff are guided by the United Nations Convention for the Rights of People with Disabilities, which recognizes the full citizenship and human rights of people who have intellectual disabilities. Inclusion BC advocates are skilled, experienced, and knowledgeable. If you are not sure who you should be talking to, get in touch with them and they will connect you with the right person or organization. And they are absolutely wonderful and so knowledgeable. And it's kind of interesting when they are included on your team how they make the school, like if you're using it for the school, it's amazing how they can bring that what's that word I'm thinking of? They can make the school do things that we can't because they make them accountable. That's the word. Accountable. Like they just know things on a governmental level and are able to use that to their advantage. Advocacy is person-centered, rights-based, collaborative, and solution-focused to build a world where everybody belongs. They run other programs like Ready, Willing, and Able, and that is a national initiative that engages, educates, and supports employers to hire people with intellectual disabilities or autism spectrum disorder. Inclusion BC is a Ready, Willing, Able partner, delivering the program in BC in conjunction with Mentorability, a national initiative which promotes employment of people with disabilities in communities large and small throughout Canadian provinces and territories, as well as many other campaigns such as tracking inclusion in BC schools. And actually, Inclusion BC does track it, but if you go over to BC Ed Access, they actually have an online tracker for inclusion, which is part of the education system. So, and they work in conjunction with each other. And the last organization online is the Parent Support Services Society in BC that supports the well-being of all families and children by empowering those in a parenting role through community connections, research, education, and advocacy. Offering services like the Kinship Hotline, which provides support, advocacy, and resource information for grandparents and other relatives raising a family member's child, as well as the services as well as to service providers and allies. They offer online parenting support groups through a registration process. And as when I wrote this, as of that time, there was none available for Northern BC. So if that's something that you're going to look into, I recommend checking out their website and seeing if it's offered, and or asking the next time it will be available. So these groups are general parent support group, fathers of those in fathering roles, single parents, parents raising teens 13 plus, anxiety and depression 13 plus, children with ADHD, and a kinship care support group. Due to COVID-19, these services have been limited to online. And this is another not-for-profit organization, so it's not, I think they run on donations and probably grants throughout to keep their services going. But it's something to check out and see if it's worth looking at for your family. Thank you very much for your time, and I'd like to wish you all a great day or night, whatever time it is that you're watching, and enjoy. I hope this has been informative to you, and thank you.